to this week's edition of Wednesday Wisdom. My name is JB Hilliard, and this is a continuation of last week's Wednesday Wisdom when we talked about the IRS's Dirty Dozen. So every year, the IRS puts out a list of top scamming situations, and last week I talked about the first half of this list. So I want to continue with that this week. And the first one of these for this week is where scams target non-English speaking consumers. And so those where English is the second language, typically the scammers will call and threaten with deportation or revocation of a driver's license or things of that nature, and really just bully the person on the other line, the taxpayer or the consumers. So you want to be aware of that. And typically those that are recent immigrants tend to be really vulnerable with this type of scam. Another one that's a little closer to my heart is unscrupulous paid preparers, tax return preparers. And, sometimes people reach out and want to have someone else prepare their tax returns. Sometimes they can be a little bit complex, or with all the law changes every year with the tax code, there are people out there who want that additional expert or professional help, and that's great. I've been doing preparing taxes for my clients, and I have this handful of family clients of mine for some have been clients for over 15 years now, and I really do appreciate that. If you're watching, I love you guys. But there are some out there who just make a bad name for the rest of us. Just like they're bad lawyers, just like they're bad cops. You have the good ones out there that are doing what they're supposed to do, and then that just those few bad apples that ruin it for everybody. So you just want to beware of those that are out there that either, well, this is the first thing that you ask for. Make sure that they have, and that's is a preparer's identification number, P10. That's issued to all of us through the IRS to make sure that they can track us and what we're doing. But that your preparer should have that number, and that should be on your tax forms when they file or prepare on your behalf. So just be aware of that and make sure that they don't ghost you after they've prepared your return and collected their fee, and then you never hear from them again. Along those lines is what's called an offer in compromise mills. These are offers in compromise, or when you have, let's say, a huge tax burden, maybe a few years of back taxes that you owe the IRS, but you just don't have the ability to pay. So you can submit an application. It's kind of a lengthy process, but you can submit an application to try to bring that down to an amount that's reasonable enough that you are able to pay it. A lot of companies out there claim to guarantee that they can get your tax bill from $100,000 down to $20 or whatever the case is. So you just want to be careful about who you choose to help you with that type of process. And just understand that the IRS, in fact, last fiscal year, 2019, there were 54,000 applications submitted to the IRS for an offer in compromise, and they only approved or accepted about a third of those. So there is no guarantee when you're talking about that type of thing, and for any companies or individual entities who claim that, you want to let that be a red flag in your mind. So the next one I want to talk about is called fake payments with repayment demands. So the con artist or the scammer has somehow already gotten information on your bank account, and they have basically made a bogus deposit into your account. But then they turn around and try to scam you by posing as an IRS employee, and then saying that this was an error and you need to refund this money immediately. But then they tell you specifically that you have to get specific gift cards in certain denominations and then send to them. So that right there should tell you the IRS doesn't deal with gift cards. I mean, even to say that in the same sentence is like such an oxymoron. So beware that that happens out there, but that you don't want it to happen to you. And then there are also payroll and human resources or HR department scams. This can the take on the look of several different methods and processes. But basically, what the scammers do is that they impersonate the potential victim. So they impersonate you with your company and then they try to infiltrate by changing your direct deposit information with your HR department or something along those lines, where now your paycheck is being diverted to some other account that you have no idea. And then lastly, because I'm already going over my time and I really went way over my time last week, is an area called ransomware. And this isn't dealing specifically with our elder community or any one specific group of people. This can happen to anybody, any age, any economic background. But this is a growing cyber crime, and this is where this maybe you open up an email or click on a link on a website, and then it attaches a invasive software to your machine, to your computer, and then it basically monitors where you're going, all your keystrokes, all your clicking and typing and everything, and then it starts to gather information, and then eventually can infiltrate your personal identification, can get your personal identification, infiltrate your accounts, get all your passwords and all that sort of thing. So that's why the IT professionals say we need to update our passwords every few months, every 30 days, in some cases, depending on what it is and what you're vulnerable to. So those things are out there. So in a nutshell, be careful, be wary. It's okay to be suspicious without, being a total pessimist about everything. But just if something doesn't look right and doesn't sound right, it probably is not right. And you'll either want to investigate, report that to, let's say, if there's a scammer trying to portray like they're from your bank, make sure you contact your bank and let them know what's going on. If it's something from the IRS has already told you, they're very specific as far as how they contact us, how they, what they say, how they say it. And when in doubt, just go to the IRS website. All their information is right there. When in doubt, call or question what's going on. And so I wish you all the best of luck with the continuing pandemic. Please stay safe out there and stay aware. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.